Welcome to the Granny Square series. In this video you can learn how to make this cute puffy circle in a granny square. There's one that's moonstone from the Stonewash range, and then there's a mushroom from the Stylecraft range. So I'm using DK acrylic yarn with a 4mm hook. I'll put the details in the description below. So I'm starting with a double magic circle, and then I've chained one. Just find that tail end. There we go. Right, so to begin, we're going to make 6 puff stitches with a chain 2 space between each one. So to make our first puff stitch, we're just going to pull that chain up to the height of a US double UK treble. We're going to make 3 loop puff stitches. So we're going to yarn over, go into the circle, pull your yarn through. We're then going to yarn over, go into the circle, pull the yarn through. That's 2 times. And then the 3rd time. Yeah, we're then going to pull the yarn over and pull the yarn through all those loops. We're then going to chain 2. Yeah. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times. So I'll show you one more. We're going to yarn over, go in, pull through, pull up to the height of a US double, UK treble. Yarn over for the 2nd time, go in, pull through. And then yarn over for the 3rd time, go in, pull through. Yarn over and pull through all of those loops. Pull through that first chain, yeah? And chain 2. Oops. And we're then going to repeat 4 more times to make 6 puff stitches all together. I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm just making my last stitch now. Yeah, I'm going to chain 2. And we're going to pull the circle tight before slip stitching. So we'll just pull on the tail slightly, see which loop tightens first. Pull that loop tight and then pull the tail. Yeah. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch we made. Yeah. And then slip stitch into the chain space. And that's the end of round 1. 6 puff stitches with chain 2 space between. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1. And we're going to make, in each chain 2 space, we're going to make a puff stitch, chain 1, another puff stitch, and then chain 1. So we bring that to height, 3 loop puff stitches again. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, and then make the 2nd puff stitch, and 2, and 3, pull through, and chain 1. So we're going to go round into the next space and repeat in each chain 2 space. Yeah, and I'll see you at the end of the round. I'm just finishing off my last stitch, chain 1. So at the end of the round, at the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches with a chain 1 space between each stitch. And we're just going to slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch to join, and then we're going to slip stitch into the chain space to finish off. So there's round 2. So coming into round 3, we're going to make a puff stitch in each chain 1 space with a chain 2 space between each stitch. So we're going to chain 1 for that starting one, pull up to the height of your US double, UK treble, and we're going to make 3 loop puff stitches. If you want, you could do 4 loop puff stitches here because you've got a bit more space. pull through, and then chain 2. Yeah, and we're going to move across into the next chain space. Keep the stitches low though, the same as a US double, UK treble, even if you do add that extra loop, a little bit. There we go. Oops. I'm going to do that second stitch again. So it's easy enough to undo your work. So yeah, as I was saying, even if you do use 4 loops, don't make the stitch higher. Yeah, chain 2, and then into the next space, and we're going to go like that all the way around. So at the end of the round you'll have 12 stitches and 12 chain 2 spaces, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Just making my last stitch now, chain 2, and I'm at the end of the round. Don't worry if it feels like it's curling a bit, it will pull out when we square it up. So after chaining 2, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space. And that's round 2. So for round 3, we're going to make it into a square. Yeah, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to make a US single, UK double, and then we're going to make 2 half US doubles, half US trebles. Yeah. The next space is going to be the corner, and we're going to make 6 stitches in there. We're going to make 2 US doubles, UK trebles. We're going to make a US treble, UK double treble. Oops. We're then going to chain 1, and we're going to make another US treble, UK double treble into the same space, and then 2 US doubles, UK trebles. Yeah. We're then going to make into the next space 2 half US doubles, half US UK trebles, and then 1 US single, UK double. Yeah, and that's our repeat. So we're going to now go into here the same as we started here, with a single, US single, UK double, then 2 half US doubles, half US UK trebles, and then the 6 stitches for the corner. Yeah, so I'll meet you back at the end of the round. So at the end of the round you should have finished with 2 half stitches and then the US single, UK double, and then we can just slip stitch across to join. Yeah, and then you're going to want to give that a little block, and it's finished. Isn't that cute? And doesn't the creamy colour and the eggshell colour look pretty together? So I'll see you in the next video.